Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Rob's Garage, Rob's Rides. I know it's been a while since I've updated a video. With it being summer and all, I haven't actually done a whole lot of big projects. Mostly just maintenance type items, trying to get as much riding in as I could. But now that winter's setting in here on the East Coast, it's time to get some projects underway. So I thought I would start with this. This is a 1969 BSA Starfire. It's a 250cc single cylinder. High pipe on this particular one. They came with low pipes too. Honestly, I bought this bike probably 12 to 15 years ago and never did anything with it. I stuffed it in the back of my shed because I didn't really have room to work on it, and other bikes came along that were more important to get on the road, to me anyway. And I didn't have any room. I outgrew my other workshop pretty quickly. So this bike sat. I did squirt oil down the cylinders and like at least once a year make sure I rotated the engine over so nothing would seize up. It didn't have a carburetor on it, so I had blocked up the intake port. But it sat, and so it hasn't run in at least that long. The guy I bought it from never had it running, so it hasn't run in a very long time. It's not in bad shape. I did do a little bit of pre-work. I ordered a new carburetor, and I put it on. I have not yet gotten the bike running or anything. I just put the carburetor on. Both tires were totally shot. The rear tire wouldn't hold any air at all, so I did install a new rear tire. And I'm just trying to get some initial things together to see if I can get ready to get the bike to run. And as is always the case with British motorcycles, nothing is quite as easy as it should be. Here is the gas tank for the bike. Here, let me flip this over. There's the gas tank. Paint's not that great. Somebody has stuck stupid BSA letters on it. We'll try to get that off. But it had petcocks that I'm sure, here's the petcocks that were in it. Being as old as they are, I'm sure they were going to leak. So I didn't want to use them. So I ordered new ones, and of course I ordered them without actually looking at what the tank needed. As you can see, when I took the old ones out, they actually have like 1/4-inch pipe. Of course, it's British threads, 1/4-inch pipe threads, and that's what I ordered. Not paying any attention to the fact that they need these 3/8 to 1/4-inch bung adapters in them. This one up here, this petcock, somebody had done something really weird with some cobbled together adapters, and it didn't even have a petcock in it. Actually, it went, they had it this way. They had it in there like this. So there was no way to shut the fuel off. The fuel line just screwed right onto that. There's no way to shut the fuel off, so that's not going to work. So I have to order at least one other bung adapter. I'm going to order 2 just to make sure I have 2 that match. So I can't install my brand new petcocks yet because I don't have the adapters that I need. So there's one little setback. I got some new fuel lines because these old fuel lines are too small. I'm not sure how they ever worked. New throttle cable. Although I took this all apart, cleaned it up for the new carburetor, and it seems to work fine. However, the ferrule is missing, so the cable just gets pulled up inside, which won't work. So I ordered a new ferrule. That should be coming soon. But I think at this point we can still do some preliminary checks to see if this bike's gonna run. It's got good compression. So what I'm gonna do is I had set up I got ready to do some some checks here. I'm going to do some electrical checks first, see if I have, let me just get this tripod here ready. I want to see if I have see if all my electricals work. So, I'm going to grab my tractor battery here. Now, remember, on British bikes, they're a positive ground. Colors don't always make sense. People change things. So, they got a fuse holder here that's actually broken. So let's verify which one is actually the ground. We'll get out our trusty voltmeter, multimeter here, and we're just gonna find ourselves a decent ground. Okay, and that's 0 ohms. So this is your ground wire. Okay, this one is not. So this one's 0 ohms, so that means that's shorted directly to the engine, which is to the frame, that's your ground. So positive ground. So you're gonna hook the ground up to the positive of the battery. And the negative, which is gonna be your power, so I got these little jumper wires here. Let's see what we can see if anything works. All right, so make sure nothing's touching. We got a key, switch. Oh look, things are actually working. Somebody installed turn signals. I don't think they were original in 1969. They're aftermarket turn signals, but hey, look, we got some lights. So that's a good sign. Let's see if we got, wow, horn even works good. Let's see about the headlight. Oh, we got a headlight. All right, so we got some electrics. I don't see any smoke coming out of anything. All right, next thing we'll do here before we attempt to start this, let me turn the key off here. All right, so I'm going to grab my spark plug checker. We'll see if we can get some spark out of this thing. All right, so here we got my spark plug checker plugged in. All I do is I have this little spark plug checker. You plug your spark plug cap onto it and then attach it to something ground. It saves me from trying to hold the spark plug to it while trying to kickstart a motorcycle or kick a bike over, which is not always easy to do because a lot of times you're on the other side like I'm going to be. So let's see if I can do this by hand without lowering the bike. And turn some ignition on. And look at that. Oh, spark. Oh, yeah, she's got some compression. And she's got spark. So that's a good thing. All right, so we got compression and spark. The last thing we need really is fuel. I don't really want to put fuel in the carburetor just yet. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to lower the bike down. I'm going to get myself all set up here. I'll bring you back, and what we're going to do is we're going to squirt some starting fluid into the carburetor, and let's just see if she'll pop off. Okay, it's not going to run, but we can see if we can get it to pop off. Then at least we'll know that, hey, when we put fuel to this thing, it's going to try to run. All right, so let me get all set up, and I'll bring you back. All right, let's see what we can do here. Fuel's out of the way. We're going to squirt some starter fluid in here. And let's just see if she will pop off at all. she goes. All right, hey, that's a huge win. So now we know she will run. All right, you're not gonna get much more than that out of a little bit of starting fluid that I shot in there, but let's just try one more time here. But I think that's about all she's gonna do. A little bit more. Probably it. But hey, now we can feel pretty confident that when we put fuel to that carburetor from the tank, that she's gonna run. I may even decide, I have a single inlet here on this carburetor right now that I eventually gotta take off and put the other one on. I could maybe hook up my external fuel tank and just see if she'll run, but I mean, she's obviously gonna run. So, yeah, I think that's a win. There's a couple things with this bike. You know, it's not a perfect bike. Somebody at some point decided to paint the engine black for some reason. It shouldn't be black. I'm not really sure how far I'm going to go with this bike. It's not going to be, I don't think I'm going to do a 100-point restoration or a full restoration like I do with a lot of my bikes. I think this might just become like my little beat around bike. I mean, the rims are rusty. You know, all the chrome is pitted and bad. The fenders, you can kind of see where I started to try to clean up the fenders. You can see where it cleans up a little bit. Probably doesn't really come up on camera all that well, but even though it shines up some, there's still a lot of pits in it. You know, same way with this isn't going to be much different. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pits in this. I cleaned up the exhaust a little bit. It comes up better than it was, but there's still a lot of pits and scratches. And honestly, to redo all the chrome on this, I mean, the headlight looks pretty bad with pits. The speedometer claims that this bike only has 5,189 miles on it. I mean, it's possible. The speedometer is still hooked up to the speedometer drive on the rear wheel, and the cable was good. So, you know, that's all totally plausible, I suppose, but there's no way to guarantee. This bike definitely sat somewhere a long time. The seat is in surprisingly good shape. There's no tears in the seat. The gas tank is side panels. The paint's not that good. I have the side panels off right now. They're in storage. To be honest with you, for what these bikes sell for, it's probably not really worth doing a full strip down, paint, powder coat, and chrome. You just would never get your money back out of the bike. But if I can get the bike running and on the road for not much money, it'd be a fun little back road bike. Need some fork gaiters, obviously. Probably will find out the fork seals are shot. I have a new front tire to put on it, although this one is holding air. It's very old and very dry rotted. So I do have a new one waiting to go on it. But let me know what you guys think. I don't think it's worth a total restoration. I'd have way more in it than the bike is worth. But I think it would be I live on some very twisty, windy back roads. I think it'd be a great little bike for that. Just to tour around and have some fun with. So, we get some more parts on order. And maybe we'll throw that gas tank on and see if we can actually get her to run. When I do that, I'll bring you guys back, show you some updates and some progress. I'm going to try to do a little more content on a fairly regular basis. We'll see how that goes, but I don't want to just make up boring content for you guys. If you remember, we did the BSA Lightning together. I just had that out over Thanksgiving. We had some decent weather here. runs great. It's just a great bike. It's beautiful to look at. This bike, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all soon. Let me know if you have any comments. Bye. And until next time, get out in the garage and build something, or work on something, or restore or save something. See you soon.